These are the cries of people zombified by headcrabs, one of the most interesting and mysterious creatures in the Half-Life universe. From the deadly poisonous headcrabs to the tamed lamar, from the smallest to the biggest, from the slow to the fast. This is the life of headcrabs. Originating from the border world Zen, this alien has been brought to Earth by the Black Mesa scientists who had access to Zen thanks to the Lambda reactor core in the Lambda complex. It was used as a teleportation device to Zen. Unarguably, the most intriguing and interesting things which were found on Zen were the Zen crystals. Yellow crystals made of exotic matter with strange properties. The Zen crystals were used in the construction of the Gamma Labs facility, an area that could teleport Zen creatures to Earth. That includes the headcrab. They were kept in containers and scientists made various researches on their behavior. The most important part of the research was related to the possibility of using headcrabs as a bioweapon. After the Black Mesa incident, the headcrabs were indeed used as a biological weapon. Once the Combine took over the border world Zen, then Earth, they decided to use the headcrabs to destroy any resistance outposts and settlements and turn their inhabitants into zombies. That was made by the usage of the so-called headcrab shells, artillery shells that were launched with artillery weapons. Once, when they hit a settlement, the shell would open and a swarm of hungry headcrabs would search for hosts, the unfortunate resistance soldiers. The darkest example of a settlement that has been bombarded by headcrab shells is the town of Ravenholm, a place that has been turned into a zombie town. In order to prevent any invasion from the zombies, the inhabitants of Black Mesa East have sealed the tunnel leading to Ravenholm. Later in the events of Half-Life 2, near City 17, the player can see Combine soldiers turned into zombies. Now comes the question, how did the Combine manage to get so many headcrabs and use them as a weapon? The Combine used a big structure that was called the Big Mama Pot. It was invented to carry a gonarch which gave birth to headcrabs. The newborn headcrabs would then be put in the headcrab shells, although it is not sure how they were raised, as we know for a fact that gonarch gives birth to tiny headcrabs and not normal sized ones. In any case, this is a proof that the gonarch Gordon Freeman killed in Half-Life 1 is not the only gonarch in the Half-Life series. Unfortunately, the Big Mama Pot was removed during the game development. It is also possible that in the events between the two games, when the Combine took over Zen and the Earth, they modified some headcrabs to be even deadlier. For example, the poison headcrab. Until the end of Half-Life 1, Gordon Freeman doesn't encounter any poison headcrabs, which leads to the theory that they might have been created by the Combine. Unlike other types of headcrabs, once injured, the poison headcrab will retreat to safety and wait behind a corner to get one last chance of successful hunting, indicating a higher form of intelligence than the standard headcrabs. How does a headcrab take control over one's body? We are aware that headcrabs latch themselves onto the head of a humanoid, no matter if it is a human or a Combine soldier. But What happens after that? What happens to the poor victim during the unfortunate and painful process? Once connected to the victim's head, that beak breaks the skull and takes over the nervous system. Even in this state, we can assume that the victim is still alive. Some vital organs and muscles are left intact, and the functions of the brain are taken by the headcrab. One more thing to consider is the ability to think. For example, a combine zombie or a zombine will perform a kamikaze attack by pulling the pin of a grenade, holding it and running towards Gordon Freeman. This can be looked at as a way to stop the suffering caused by the parasite, or in other words, committing suicide. What happens to the body of a zombified human? The body of the victim undergoes changes. The most distinguishable one is the big opening in their torso. It is used as a mouth to feed. The headcrab will then get nutrition from the host. The changes depend on the type of the headcrab that has taken it. For example, if the headcrab is the fast headcrab, the host will undergo physical changes that will remove any unnecessary body parts that increase the weight, skin, flesh, and even inner organs. All but the skeleton and muscles would be removed to be as light as possible in order to be as fast as possible. In the events of Half-Life 2, we can see a tamed headcrab named Lamar, owned by Dr. Kleiner. He says that he debeaked Lamar, making her harmless. Other than the missing beak, in contrast to normal headcrabs, Lamar doesn't have her sharp teeth. This could imply that removing the weapons of a headcrab can lead to taming it. Now comes the question. If she cannot parasite on humans, then what does Lamar eat? Here are a few answers to that. We can see Lamar chasing crows during the teleportation troubles of Gordon Freeman. Other than that, in Kleiner's lab there is a note saying, "Don't forget to get more watermelons for Lamar," making it clear that headcrabs are omnivorous, but most likely prefer flesh. Speaking of food, we can assume that headcrabs are edible depending on their type. In Half-Life 2, Vortigaunts can be seen preparing headcrabs. For example, the all-knowing Vortigaunt who can be seen cooking a fast headcrab. It is unknown though if humans can eat them. Originating from what we said earlier about the poison headcrabs being developed by the Combine, we can assume one more reason for doing so, making it less likely for Vortigaunts to find food, and as we know, the Combine and Vortigaunts are enemies. That would be a method used by the Combine to make food even harder to find. In the Half-Life universe, not a single person survived after he was zombified. The thought of what is going on in the minds of the zombies is grim, if they have a mind at all. One is for sure, headcrabs remain one of the most feared Zen creatures among humans. But one question still needs an answer. Why at all would the Black Mesa scientists bring such a form of extraterrestrial life to planet Earth? Were they not aware of the risk they take? Did they not know what headcrabs can do? Or was it someone else who forced them to do that? Leave your opinions in the comment section below this video and tell me what you want to see next. I will be happy to read them. If you want to see more lore based videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.